Hey, today we're going to be talking about splenic authority and in regards to projectors. So this is continuing on with our human design series, and if you want to watch more of these, we'll leave a link to the playlist, and you'll be able to find the previous vlog as well down in the description box below. So we've recorded ones for each type, generally, the 5 main types. We've gone through the sacral authority and all types of the emotional authority. And now we're going to move into the splenic authority. So there's really only 2 types that have a splenic authority, one being manifestors, the other being projectors. There's also some generators that have some splenic influence. We're not going to go into that today here, and nor are we going to talk about manifestors with the splenic authority. So those that have the splenic authority, it's quite a spontaneous authority in the way that it speaks to the body. It's very quick, and it's probably one of the more tribal-like in how it works as well. So the decisions are often made in the realm of like intuition and survival instinct. The splenic authority is also quite connected to the lymphatic system, and the lymph obviously moves all throughout the body, a lot like fluid, and this is often where your intuitive signals will come from if you've got a splenic authority. So as I was saying before, the signals are quite fast and they're very fleeting. So if you miss it, they often won't come back. So it's recommended for those with a splenic authority to be quite spontaneous in life as much as possible, and to schedule very little as much as possible. You'll often find those with the splenic authority will form connections, friendships, all kinds of relationships quite fast, and it doesn't take them very long when they're living in design. So when you're a projector with this type of authority, as we know, it's always going back to invitation, right? You're going to take in others quite deeply, and so obviously being quite careful when you're around those, especially those with an emotional authority. They will often take over your own inner body authority if you're not in tune with that. And obviously it can sway you when making decisions. So it can be quite beneficial, obviously, to be in your own energetic field when you're making decisions, if you've got this splenic authority as well. Some people talk about how when they've been invited through like a message, say like a text message, or they're invited through, there's like some physical geographical distance, you'll find it's often a lot easier to be able to make the decision in comparison to when you're actually physically present with the person and they're in your auric field. Because obviously you can absorb a lot more of their enthusiasm, which will then lead you to making the decision of yes, when maybe that's not necessarily the decision that your body or your being is really wanting you to engage in. And obviously, if you keep practicing with your discernment of this, you'll get better and better at noticing when it's speaking to you, and you won't be missing so much of its messages as they pass through the body. So yeah, the splenic is often a lot about survival. Those that have the splenic authority, and anyone really that has a defined splenic center, they can, if they're living in design, be quite good at knowing what's good for them and what's not. It's a lot about keeping yourself safe and keeping yourself reasonably healthy. And it'll often, if you've got a splenic authority, it'll warn you when something is dangerous as well. And so I've often found that when I've spoken with those with a splenic authority and those have, whether they're projectors or manifestors, they've been able to get themselves out of some quite tricky situations, especially could be in regards to traveling to dangerous places around the world, and just really listening to that intuition and that instinct that comes through. And this is often, decisions that they've made prior to becoming aware of human design as well. So, yeah, it kind of speaks for itself sometimes if you have conversations with people about their life stories, and you may even be able to start to pick up on what kind of authorities and types that they are yourself. So yes, when you've got the Splenic Authority, obviously with the projector, you're being invited. It's usually a reasonably easy 3-step decision-making process. One is obviously recognising that there is a decision point to be made. 2 is obviously asking the questions to the body about what you are to do. Obviously narrowing it down to more yes/no questions can be beneficial. And then obviously step 3 is just waiting for that intuitive hit. And as I said before, it'll be quite fast. So you'll need to be very much in a state of awareness to catch that. And it'll be either a yes or a no. You know, you're listening to your body, what's it telling you? And if you're not getting anything, you're not hearing anything, whether it be instinctively or intuitively, then you may have missed it, or it hasn't arrived yet. It's actually not something that you're supposed to make a decision on straight away. Although those with the Splenic Authority, usually their decision making can be quite spontaneous, and more spontaneous than probably any other body authority as well. And often these messages are going to come through either like a voice or a body sensation. So the next vlog that we'll do for the Human Design series will be talking about Splenic Authority and those that are manifestors. To be honest, it will be probably quite similar to what we've shared here, but obviously their energy field works slightly differently. If you've got any questions about this vlog, then welcome to leave that in the comment section down below. As you can see today, we are in not necessarily the best lighting for this video, and I've misplaced my tripod camera stand, so we're doing as best as we can, but at least you've got a nice lovely backdrop, and I'll see you again soon.